So excited to have guests Raul Cuevas, a volunteer from School on Wheels, and also Jamie Haugen, both of you joining us in studio here on the Daily Buzz. Welcome to the show. We love having you.
Thank you for having us.
What is School on Wheels?
So School on Wheels is a nonprofit organization based in Southern California. So we serve students and families experiencing homelessness all over Southern California, 6 different counties. We provide volunteer tutors like Raul, who are matched with students and help them with their schoolwork, mentor them in different areas, and just help make sure that they are staying with their schoolwork despite the circumstances they're going through experiencing homelessness.
Now, how do these students find you? What is your outreach like so that they know that you're available for them?
Yeah, so our students and families can be in a lot of different circumstances. So we work with families who are living in shelters, motels, vehicles. So we work with the school districts to make sure that they know that we are here as a resource for families who are experiencing homelessness. And we also partner with all the shelters and every community center and place that we can, just to let people know that we're here and our services are available for anyone who's in that circumstance.
Raul, I love that you're a volunteer. I think it is so cool what you're doing because you have a life as well, right? You say you're hoping to get into PA school, which is a really, really tough grind if you do get there, and I'm sure you will. So why volunteer?
Well, I suppose my volunteering journey began 3 years ago when my friend was telling me about his experience. And I think it was Sparta, Ohio. He was at a school, and he was telling me about a student who didn't speak English. She was a Spanish speaker, and she didn't have anyone, and he had some bit of English, so he was the only one who could really connect with her. And that story kind of moved me. I come from a similar background. My first language is Spanish, so I thought about how meaningful it would be to have those kind of connections with students like that. That started my journey. I first started doing online tutoring for about half a year, and then I found School on Wheels online just because I wanted to move into in-person tutoring. And since then, it's just been so meaningful to me to be able to connect with students. Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah,
that's pretty amazing. Now, how long has the organization been around? And is it here in Santa Clarita? And is LA County one of the counties?
Yes, yeah. So School on Wheels was established in 1992. And so we've been around, and we are all over Southern California, all the way from San Diego up to Santa Barbara, so all the counties in between. And LA County is definitely our most served area, I would say. But yeah, we are working with students all over, and it's often an invisible population that a lot of people don't know about. So
right, and we want to keep educating people. We want to keep people educated in spite of the difficulties they're experiencing. I mentioned you're going to PA school to be a physician's assistant.
We're trying to get in, but hopefully, yeah.
Well, we hope you do. But you're teaching in this role. Is that what your role is as a volunteer?
I mainly help with English and mathematics. Most of my students are very young. I think the oldest one I've been tutoring so far is in 4th grade. So it's all stuff that I'm already familiar with. The last session I had, I was helping my 4th grader with division. So, but nothing having to do with medicine or science.
That's kind of why I'm asking, because it's really different than what you're hoping to pursue as a long-term career. What gives you the most enjoyment out of the teaching part of when you're volunteering?
The most enjoyment, let's see, just the one-on-one time and seeing the students become more confident. I think when I first started tutoring, it takes a while for the students to warm up. Maybe they'll be really distracted, but just seeing their growth, and then seeing how their attitude towards me changes. They become excited when I show up, all that stuff. They just have a stable presence in their life. I volunteer at a women's sanctuary in Silmar, as in my role as a tutor for School on Wheels. So these are children who don't have a masculine figure in their life. So I get a lot of fulfillment from playing that role and seeing the students become just healthier and thrive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you guys find your volunteers, what is the criteria for someone to be able to volunteer for your organization?
Yeah, and I'm glad you asked that because you do not have to have teaching experience. You do not have to be a teacher. We provide training. We provide everything you need in order to volunteer as a tutor with us. So we just ask that you're 18 years old or above and that you live in California. We do offer online tutoring for some students and families that works better, but we also have a lot of in-person tutoring as well, and a lot of students who are looking for that in-person tutor who can be that, support that Raul is.
I'm assuming that financing is one of the bigger challenges for an organization like School on Wheels. Can you tell us about some of the other challenges that you have to deal with?
The challenges, our families are often moving quite often. So they, sometimes they can be moving schools 4 times just in a school year. So it can be challenging for students and families to have that consistent support. So we do our best to stay with our students and stay with our families, even if they're moving to different areas of Southern California. So that can definitely be a challenge. And then just getting the volunteers. So we need volunteers. We really always need Spanish-speaking volunteers. We have hundreds of students right now who are waiting to be matched with a volunteer tutor. So just getting volunteers is one of our biggest challenges for sure.
If someone volunteers for your organization, obviously we want to help you get volunteers, right? Get people to sign up. What does that look like? How frequently do they do it? How many hours in a day? Do they get partnered or paired with a student based on location, skill set?
Yeah. So it's only 1 hour a week is all we are asking of our volunteers. Some people end up wanting to meet with their student more frequently than that. But just an hour a week of one-on-one tutoring is all we're asking of our volunteers. And we have coordinators in all of the regions who work on matching students with volunteers to make sure that it's a good match. So we provide all of that, and all we want is for you to just show up for an hour and hang out with a student in need and help them in any way that you can. You do not have to be an expert in math or anything like that.
Raul, is there a certain area of study that you find that kids struggle with more? I mean, is it more math? Is it more English? Is there something else that we're not thinking of that is harder for kids?
Yeah, I think maybe attention. Attention
That's
span.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Well, when I think about my students, when I first started tutoring them, I had one student who she'd have a favorite chair that she'd always want to sit in, and it was a chair that could spin around. So she would spend most of the tutoring session just spinning in the chair, and I would try my best to try to coax her to do some schoolwork. But it took maybe half a year. She completely forgot about that chair, and now she's locked in, as people say nowadays. She's able to focus more. So I think just having some incentive for a student so that they can put their mind to doing their homework or something like that. I think that makes a really big difference. Just having a presence there, helping to guide them, and then the students, they could have individual strengths. Like maybe they're better at English than math. Or something like that.
So if I could follow up on that is, and I'm guessing then when they take this into the classroom and they meet with success there, it might make, you talked about the confidence, it might make them realize that what they're doing with you, or the work that you guys are putting into it, is paying off, and they probably really enjoy that.
Yeah, I'd have to really agree. That shift in mindset, if it occurs, it can change the trajectory of their life, right? So I have seen students who they're not interested in schoolwork. They'd rather, I don't know, do recess or something like that. But once they know, oh wait, I can do this, then they start becoming more interested.
Wow. So do you guys have to follow a certain curriculum? If they're fourth graders, for example, and they're going through division, like you were mentioning, and do you guys have like a designation of tutors that have that skill set for that grade level to follow that curriculum? I'm so intrigued on how you guys can just have someone volunteer an hour a week and make it work.
Yeah, so we have a team. School on Wheels has a programs team who does work on making curriculum, and we create all sorts of different resources for students based on their reading levels and their grade. Because oftentimes, students that we are working with are not at the reading level that they should be, and we have seen great progress that within 6 months of being in our program, their reading level will go up 3 times. So they're making great progress because we do have a programs team with knowledge in that, and they are designing that program to make them improve their reading skills and stuff. But also the tutors will always just meet the students where they are. And it's not, this pressure to make sure leveling up or anything like that. Student where they are first and foremost, getting their homework done, but then we do provide, programming on top of that. It's all dependent on where the student is.
Okay, who can get involved? Tell us how folks can get involved with School on Wheels.
Yeah, so schoolonwheels.org is going to be the website. Go to that website, you'll find more information on us and a volunteer application. You can also reach out on social media, School on Wheels, if they'd like. But head to our website, you're going to find all the info there.
Wonderful.
So I must ask, we're up against it, but I must ask one more question. What made you decide to get involved?
Yeah, I was working in nonprofit industry, and then I found School on Wheels just online, like so many people do. And I didn't know much about students experiencing homelessness. And as I started reading more about it, I was just like, oh my gosh, it just started really tugging on my heartstrings, and it made me want to get involved. And once you start, talking to people and you meet students and stuff, you want to help so bad.
Well, we're so glad you did. Thanks. Jamie Haugen, Raul Cuevas. School on Wheels is the organization, and hopefully people will get involved. Thanks so much for coming in. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having us.
We'll be right
Thank
back
you.
on the Daily Buzz.